So I just had this semi drawn out conversation with a friend that I've had for a long while. I mean, well, not super long. We've been friends, damn, since seventh grade, I guess. Since seventh grade. That is crazy. But there's been times where it's been on and off, on and off. And pretty much the basis of that conversation was you take risks on relationships. And I've never thought about that before. Whether it's friendships or just partners, like a spouse or something like that. And the idea of taking like is widely known that you take risks inside life just so you can get somewhere, whether it's inside business, achieving certain careers and stuff. You have to take risks, you have to take sacrifices and stuff. And usually when you think of friendships or you think of just a relationship in general, you think of something that's smooth sailing, right? Something where it doesn't really, no, even if it does have the ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, you don't really see it as a risk. Taking a chance on it, taking risk on the relationships that you come across, that the people that you meet in your life, to decide whether, not even deciding whether, like, once you initiate the conversation with them and you know them for a little while, you take the risk of continuing to know them and to continue to grow with them as your life goes on and as their life goes on as well. And with this particular person I was talking with, it's the number one factor in what she was telling me, because like it did not click, but my relationship with her and our relationship, it was a huge risk. And the outcome is just not something that we would have expected, nor is the path that we took to get where we are now something that we expected at all. At all. General basis, I'll give you guys ideas of how me and this person formed this relationship. Again, we met inside seventh grade. We're just casual, we're inside school, everybody's friends, whatever, just casual talking and stuff. Around eighth grade, I guess I caught some feelings or something like that, and I liked her, I guess, and it was reciprocated at one point, and then when an ex got back involved, it was just diminished, and pretty much I was humiliated at a certain point because it was like a public thing, like just a lot of stuff going on, right? And so that happened. I stopped talking to her for a long while, just haven't talked to her at all. And then a couple years later, we just rekindled. We started talking. Some things happened. Some things were happening in my life at a young age that I should have been dealing with. Likewise with her. So we would help each other out, whatever else it may be. And that was going on for like a year, two maybe. And pretty much it ended abruptly with a whole ordeal of, a couple locks torn out, nothing sexual. This is all just like, it's gonna sound crazy, but a couple locks torn out when I had my locks. Some other things that came up, me getting inside a situation where I thought I was about to get jumped, and then pretty much playing the blame game from back and forth, back and forth. And at that point in time, I truly, for each other, we truly despise each other. Like when I say despise, that first time where I was humiliated and stuff, at that point in time, sure, that's one thing, that's, we're young, who cares? But like when I said despise, like it's completely different. Like inside the school, it was like a really huge thing, like involving teachers, other students, aggressive stuff, whether it's verbally or physically, just a lot of stuff, right? And from that point in time, I don't want to say exactly what I said or what was going through this person's head, because that's just, no, there's no need to. Long story short, there was a huge period where like I just never expected to talk to this person again, just because how nasty it ended up. And then we ended talking to each other again, and then it had something else happening again. And the last time we started talking to each other, we realized that we've been through so much and we know so much more about each other, regardless of the situations we went through. We're human, we have flaws, and that's like one of the closest people inside my life right now. Literally. Like, for her, for the relationship between her and I to be so aggressive with going ups and downs and ups and downs, and you know, downs where they're so low that you wouldn't even think it would rekindle at all, but then certain circumstances where you just run across each other by chance, which is just really weird how things work, right? When she mentioned that there's risk involved, it's clear as day how our relationship formed in that way. And this all came to be because I kept telling her I don't want to get inside any relationships with females. We usually talk about certain things, like if she's talking to a guy, she tells me how she's feeling and stuff. And if I'm trying to talk to another female, I try to reciprocate how I'm feeling and what I should do. And she was just telling me that I need to take more risks when it comes to having these relationships because, you know, I'm probably looking for the person that's perfect, you know, where there's no issues. That's my type. That's what I'm looking for, right? And she was pretty much explaining how invalid that is, and the fact that people are people at the end of the day, and that somebody that you actually grow with, you're going to grow with. There is going to be ups and downs. Do not expect it to be smooth sailing. And of course, not to say like you wouldn't expect the ups and downs, but like for you to think in your head that you know there is going to be ups and downs is completely different. It's taking risk. Like with risk, you're going to say like, you know, there's a possibility that this will happen. And so the same thing with relationships, you know that there's a possibility of that happening. And it's not like it's just by chance. Like more than likely there will be some shit that happens between you and another person. And it's just dependent on how you guys reciprocate, if you want to continue it or if you just want to let things go. So one thing that I want to try to work on now is, I guess, just trying to, well, I did try before, but like continuing to understand that people are people. If I want to get in a relationship with a female, that I will have to come to compromises, more compromises, and vice versa, that they would have to as well. And that the understanding that it's okay to have those ups and downs because it's valid inside every point in our life, whether it's with our friends, our siblings, our parents. There's always going to be ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you're going to make it work. Are you not? So I guess the whole point of this is take more calculated risk with the people that you think could work out with, but it's just a matter of even taking that initiative to get that jump and understand that there will be ups and downs, as opposed to just getting into something and hoping that, you know, you guys would just be on the same page the whole time, which in fact is not valid. Yeah.